world out there. Did you know it?
I did.
15 seconds to launch.
I don't know that you did. I like to think of you as a small package with a huge malicious potential.
Places, please. 5 seconds.
Adjust your mojo.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Now.
At age, 60? He's just gonna break bad?
Radio with an attitude.
This system that we love is broken.
I know that.
Do not comply.
Hey, mother.
Welcome to another 2 hours of common sense.
That liberty and justice for all is a myth.
And erratic behavior.
You want to, but you can't. And when you do, you wish you didn't.
This is your Daily Mojo.
It's pretty simple. If you're high, just don't drive. Right. It's a message from the Ad Council and the NHTSA. I just saw it on my computer here, so I thought I'd relay it since we all paid for that message to be broadcast to everybody in the country. And it's money spent on things like that. Is that effective when I guess it's NHTSA, right? The National Highway Transportation Safety
Administration.
Is that what it is?
I guess.
National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. Nah. That's National Highway Transportation. Okay. I mean, it's another board that we pay for, right? The National Highway Transportation Safety Administration. I don't know how much we're paying for that. I don't know how much we're paying for the Ad Council. But we continue to run into these roadblocks every time we find money that we are, wasting, money that's being funneled to other places. The people that are finding these rabbit holes, these money pits, continue to be vilified. They continue to be attacked, literally, figuratively. And yet the same people are doing that are also doing some amazing things, like rescuing our freaking astronauts.
True that. Yeah.
Who happen to be coming down from space. There is the Dragon capsule.
All hooks are open.
All hooks are open.
And undocking confirmed.
That looks so real.
Freedom is free of its moorings.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, you would never
Sonny
know.
Williams and Butch Wilmore begin their belated trip home.
Separation confirmed.
Is that a woman driving that thing?
Probably. I don't know.
You don't, do you?
No, I don't.
But
undocking occurring right on time at 12:05 a.m. Central Time.
I mean, this is freaking amazing. We're just, they're driving the capsule home. They're bringing home Butch and Suni, what's her name? Suni.
Good motion, good stability on Dragon.
The old sandwich maker up there. Who's going to make? They brought two more women up there. That's right. But look at that. I mean, it's just frigging amazing what we are as humans capable of doing.
Good opening rate reported by the visiting vehicle officer.
And yet, they still hate the guy behind all of this. It is mind-boggling how weird things are right now. They're there, the inside of the Dragon capsule, getting people home. Will he get credit for it? No. Will he get credit for finding all of these other
attitude control system
wastes of money in our government? No. Can't do that because Orange Man bad and Elon like Orange Man.
Some freedom on the big loop. On behalf of Crew 9.
The fact that we aren't even really aware of this happening anymore. Remember, this used to be like primetime news coverage.
It did. Yeah, it used to be. Yeah.
People would gather around the television and the radio to watch and listen to these events unfold. And now it's like, they sent a taxi up to the International Space Station. The what? The International Space Station.
We know the station's in great hands. We're excited to see.
Are they going to close that door? That's making me nervous.
They will.
And we'll be waiting for you.
Okay. So it eventually slams shut. But they continue, again, to hate this guy. They continue to vilify him. He continues to find ways that they are wasting money in and around our government. Even Mr. Moose. Mr. Moose is being a dick right now to Elon Musk and his people.
Who is
that
Mr.
not
Moose?
amazing? Oh, come on. You never watched Captain Kangaroo?
Yeah, but that's not
You
the
never
same
watched
Mr.
Captain
Moose, is it?
It isn't?
I'm asking.
Well, I'm asking too. I was assuming it was the same Mr. Moose that we were talking about here, because yesterday we talked a little bit about the U.S. Institute for Peace. You know that. I mean, everybody's heard of it, right? I mean, we've all who doesn't have the T-shirt from the U.S. Institute for Peace? Seems like a pretty big organization. A resolution of the board of directors was put out yesterday by the United States Institute of Peace, whose slogan is "Making Peace Possible." It's for the removal of George E. Moose. All I can see is the, sorry, folks, Wally World's closed. Moose out front. Should have told you. I mean, this is really life imitating art. The removal of George E. Moose as the president and appointment of Kenneth Jackson as the acting president of the United States Institute of Peace. Whereas it's going to be hard to get out of that one. Sorry. Whereas the United States Institute for Peace's board of directors may remove the agency's president under 22 U.S.C. blah, 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 whereas the board of directors may appoint the agency's president under another code. Be it resolved that as of March 14th, 2025, Mr. George E. Moose is removed from his position at USIP's president. Mr. Kenneth Jackson is designated as USIP's acting president with all of the powers delegated by the board of directors to that role. Now, interestingly enough, when they went to the U.S. Institute of Peace, and again, we're trying to remove the now former president of the U.S. Institute for Peace, Mr. Moose, it's even better than we first heard. Not only did he not want to let them in, but he also tried to fire the private security team when that security team went ahead and was giving access to the new president. Because the private security team was like, this is... So it's like all above board, Mr. Moose. Looks like we got to let Mr. Jackson in.
Why? Okay, I'm completely at a loss. Why was Mr. Moose fired as president of USIP?
Well, because he could be.
Mr. Moose must have done something or said something to get fired.
No. Mr. Moose was part of the, just like they removed the head of USAID. Took him out.
Okay.
Now, again, we are told, and I don't know how many of us really know the skinny, the down low on what is and isn't a private institution as opposed to a government institution,
right,
that reports to the president. That seems to be murky. But there's the the United States Institute of Peace was claiming to be an independent agency free from the control of the president. And yet it's government funded, which doesn't that make it part of the... It's like they have intentionally muddied the waters around everything. It depends on what your definition of is. We didn't know how consequential that statement by former President Bill Clinton would be, and yet here we are, 28 years later, 27 years later, going, oh, that's what he was doing. Because it's either a government institution that is, a government institution and funded by, or it's not. Or is it that murky Twilight Zone area? I mean, is the U.S. Institute of Peace, are they located next to the Postal Service?
Probably.
Right? I mean, we're paying for them, but they're not a government. It's a hybrid, which is good when you're talking about cars, but apparently not so much when you're talking about the government. So, Mr. Moose Mr. Moose doesn't want to leave. He does not want to, ironically, go peacefully into that good night. He wants to stay as the president of the USIP. He does not want Mr. Jackson. Now I'm thinking of Keith Jackson. Football, the announcer. Remember Keith Jackson? He's dead, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Long time
Sure.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Keith Jackson. So we got Mr. Moose and Keith Jackson, who are here fighting it out to be the president of the United States Institute of Peace. And then you got Mr. Moose threatening to fire or trying to fire the security team that he hired to protect his position. Why did he hire a private security team? Huh? Idea? Thought?
No, I have no idea. I don't know what the USIP does.
They're the Institute for Peace.
I get that, but I don't know that they do jack shit, so I don't know why he needs a security team.
That's where you go. You go to the Institute of Peace. I need some peace and quiet. No one knows what the hell they do. I mean, they've got a really cool mission statement to keep us out of trouble and, to keep the peace around the world, but no one really knows what they do because it's like secret and stuff. Again, you'd think we would have heard about this before now, but we didn't. So anyway, the bottom line is this. Mr. Moose is now out, and Keith Jackson is now the president of the U.S. Institute for Peace. Because when we first started talking about these guys yesterday, it just sounds hinky. When you got the U.S. Institute for Peace, it just does not sound legit. It sounds, again, like the United States, what was it, the Consumer Financial Fraud Protection Board? What was that thing that Maxine Waters, your girl, was, didn't she help create it? It was
something I'm sure something to garner money out of the freaking general public to put in her purse.
Exactly. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, which you know damn well the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau did exactly the opposite.
Bunch of bureaucrats. Has it right in the name.
Right. Yes, that's exactly what it was. And, it was a money laundering, it's USAID, the United States Association for International Development, right? Agency for International Development. All of these really broad. It's funny how now that we're seeing it, now that we are seeing these things, these dominoes start to fall, you start to see more dominoes. It's like, what the hell is the the United States Consumer Product Safety Board? What exactly is it that they protect us from lawn darts? Is that what it is? Because really, we got scammed on the lawn darts, by the way. I mean, we really did. Lawn darts was a fun game. Did you ever play lawn darts?
Oh yeah.
And let's see, how many died from lawn? From lawn. That's funny. If you put how many died from, it autofills COVID. Let's see. Do you have any idea how many kids died? And it sucks, obviously, when your kid dies from whether it's playing with lawn darts or playing with a chainsaw, either way. Not to say that the two are related, but again, kids do stuff that's stupid. How many kids died from lawn darts?
12.
3.
Oh.
And the deaths occurred in 1970, 1987, and 1997. At least he chose to be killed by injuries associated with lawn darts. The children were 4, 7, and 13. So, again, by the way, I'm guessing that the 4-year-old was probably killed because it wandered out in the path of a lawn dart, right?
Probably.
I mean, if I had to guess. Do you know the same thing would probably happen if the kid got hit in the head with a horseshoe? I mean, those horseshoes, they start traveling and you get in front of one and it's going to hurt, especially if you're 4 years old. I don't know. Keep your kids away from a horseshoe game. But then we had the, let's see, the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission. That is different than the United States Consumer Product Safety Board, right? Tell me there's not two of them. That's got to be the same one, right? Consumer Product Safety Board. No, it's got, okay, so it's the same thing. So we just, I had them misnomered. Yeah, but they put out the big press release July 30th, 1987. And according to them, there were 6,100 people that were treated in hospital emergency rooms for injuries involving lawn darts from 1978. Well, it says through 1986. The press release actually says from 1978 through 1936. But I'm guessing it's probably 1986.
Yeah, probably.
I may be wrong. 80% of the victims younger than 15 years old, more than 50% were 10 years old or younger. More than half of the victims had injuries to the head, the eye, the ear, or the face. That's generally because, I mean, if you got hit in the leg with a lawn dart, do you go to the hospital? The investigations indicate, and by the way, if you don't know what a lawn dart is, what's he talking about? A lawn dart? Lawn darts were it
was like a football with a blunt dart on it. I mean, an arrow maybe with a blunt dart on it.
Yeah, I mean, there were big arrows. Or big darts, rather, because there you go, lawn darts.
And you grab the plastic end and you toss them.
Yep. Shoop, tossed it and tried to see if you could get it into the circle.
Yeah.
And, the people freaked out. Because, again, you can get hurt playing with this. Oh, see, they've got is it the updated version? No. Is that a big lead weight?
Oh, you can get those now, huh? Probably.
It has a safe tip design. How many times have we heard that before? Right? But yeah, the point is, and again, if you're going to be playing lawn darts, I would still advise, even if you've got the blunt end darts, keep little kids away from the playing field. But the overarching theme here is that we have government involved in every freaking aspect of our life, from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which again does probably just the opposite, to the United States Institute of Peace. It is of, not for, correct? There's a big difference. The United States Institute of Peace. And things like the United States Consumer Product Safety Commission. Let's not forget, we are safety now, haven't we? The monster CD smash hit from those people over at the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So we've got Elon Musk not only in there finding all these ways that we are wasting money, found ourselves in $37 trillion worth of debt, but also, while he's not doing that, sending up rockets to rescue our stranded astronauts from the International Space Station, because Boeing couldn't get them, and neither could NASA, and yet they still hate this guy. By the way, at the same time that he was sending the rocket to the space station and getting Mr. Moose to relinquish his power at the U.S. Institute of Peace, they were also finding, 3.2 million number holders at the Social Security office, all listed at age 120 or above. They've now been marked as deceased. Isn't it weird, too, how we had the mainstream media coming out, they didn't find dead people on the rolls at Social Security. That's not what it always, no. Remember the pushback on that one?
Yeah.
Because they can't stand it. What? The government isn't efficient? The government's been wasting our money? The government is un-American?
I'm more interested in who was receiving the checks they were mailing. And were they being cashed?
Oh, you know damn well they were being cashed. Let's see, the ages 120 to 129. Wait a second. 150 to 159-year-olds. How is that possible? They're saying the living count. So let me go back over here so you can see the link. I got to go backwards on that. Nope, that's not it either. Where the hell did it go? Oh, I just made it bigger. Sorry. There we go. The 150 to 159-year-old living count as of March 8th, was 1.3 million. The living count of as of today is the 17th. Today is the 17th, right?
Today's the
18th.
18th, yeah.
18th. Whew, time is flying by, isn't it? My birthday is just barreling at us at light speed.
Yeah, it is.
Whereas some days I feel it. The living count as of yesterday was 1.1 million, so we got rid of 186,415 people. Are you telling me that there are still 1.1 million people that are
there's probably more than that,
aged 150 to 159?
Yeah, and then,
so they still have those numbers to clean up. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, they hate the guy because he is stopping the money train. He is stopping the money train to Funtown, and they are not happy with it. They're also not happy that, and again, some of those same people within the government, not happy. I'm going to get to Florida Man in Alabama's comment in a second about the Dragon capsule. They're also not happy that the files, the JFK files, in theory, are going to be released again today.
That's what they keep saying. Yeah.
The president announced it yesterday. Now, hopefully, it's not another Epstein. By the way, where are we on the Epstein thing? Anybody know?
No. Well, Bondi hasn't given us another update that I know of.
If she looked like Janet Reno, would we be cutting her all this slack?
Janet Reno? Wow.
What?
Why would she? Oh my gosh! Why would she look like?
If she looked like Janet Reno, would we be cutting her this slack? Do I have to spell this out for you?
You talking about because she's kind of hot and Janet Reno looked like a dude?
Whoa, wow, Mr. Misogynist.
Well,
yeah, that's what I meant.
We probably, I don't know.
No, we wouldn't be giving her all this. We wouldn't be giving her this.
Maybe.
So see, that's easy. Of course we wouldn't. Come on, at least be honest with each other. It's like when the hot teachers get busted for the quote-unquote sexual assault of the 17-year-old kid. That, do they catch... and again, the caveat there is if it's the older teacher and the 17-year-old girl, out. Doesn't matter how good-looking he is, he's under the jail. The hot female teacher and the 17-year-old kid, they're like, well, I don't know, he probably didn't mean it. But if she's ugly, up next to the hot dude, under the jail. I didn't make the rules, but we all know what they are. If you want to get involved in this whole situation this morning, the hashtag to use is what I learned today. You can tag us in your posts at Real Brad Staggs, at Real Ron Phillips, Florida Man in Alabama. Over on the Rumble chat room says, thankfully, Dragon capsules are automated. There is no risk of chipping the rims in the parking lot.
For the most part, yeah.
Right. I still, again, would you hand your wife the keys to the Dragon capsule, Ron?
No, actually, I would not.
Yeah, no, because no. I
had to think.
Doesn't it feel good to be honest
for a second? But no, I wouldn't.
Doesn't it feel good to be honest? The door's locked to your room, right?
No.
Just
No.
I'll give you a chance to go over and lock that sucker. Sir Rad Bastard says that's why we have cornhole now. You know what? You take one of those cornhole like sandbags. Take one of those in the eye. See how you feel.
It's not a matter of taking it to the eye. It's the fact that one of those sandbags will take a kid off their feet if it hits them in the leg.
Yeah, if you're throw it overhand with enough speed. There's inherent danger in drinking water.
Yeah.
If you don't do it right. I'll never forget my mom, who on occasion did teach me a thing or two. I don't know why this one stuck in my head, but she said, you can drown in a half an inch of water in the gutter. Don't ask me why my mom knew about gutter water, but you can. I mean, you get in there the wrong way, you can't get it. You can drown, in the gutter.
I guess if you're sniffing half an inch of water, yeah.
It doesn't. I'm not judging. I don't care what you're doing in the gutter. Gifted Guru says, I hit my sister in the head with a horseshoe when she was 3. Bastard. Sir Rat Bastard says, damn it, Gifted. That's why they canceled horseshoes. Damn it, Beaver. I don't get why some people aren't upset when women have sex with 12-year-olds. That's just wrong. I didn't say 12-year-old. I said the 17-year-old. The whole was the mega church gateway.
Yeah.
Here, and the pastor who just turned himself in yesterday, I think, up in Oklahoma because they're pressing charges because, again, was it 30, 40 years ago, whenever it was, and he admitted to, I don't know exactly the physical, what part, but sexual assault, and the girl was 12.
Yeah.
And they're going after him with a law from the Civil War era. Now, I'm not stamping what I did as right. What I'm saying is, and I went and looked, because if this had happened 150 years ago, it would not have been illegal. It's not 100. I get it. I'm just saying that back then in the I think it was 50s, and you can look this up yourself, the age of consent, and I was kind of surprised at this one myself, the age of consent back then was, do you want to take a guess, Ron?
8.
10 to 13. Yes, times have changed. Again, I'm not.
I mean, I don't guess it was out of the ordinary, maybe not the word I need to use, for people, girls, I guess you could say, as young as 10, 12, 13, to be married at that time. I think it was if they were old enough to bleed, right? Isn't that the deal?
There you go, Mr. Classy. That's it.
Well, how else do you say
that was essentially it.
If they can menstruate, then they could be married.
Let's go back to the bleed thing.
Okay.
That's such a word.
Well, you know what I'm talking about.
No, yes, I do. Because times were different.
Breeding stock, right? I mean,
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. You were trying to be fruitful and multiply.
I started to say at that point in time, people were having 15 kids, It's a different world now.
Yes, they were. Yep, it is. Now, I don't know what's going to happen to that guy. It's Oklahoma. Who knows? I think he's a prime candidate at this point for, hate to say it, but eating a bullet.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, where do you go from there? I mean, you're done. You're toast. Your life is through. In the meantime, for those of us who are not facing such a fate, it's a good thing to stay alive. And to stay alive, you're going to need food. And depending on, what the situation is outside, food may be hard to get. We're not out of the woods yet. We like to think we are because, Trump got elected and things seem to be going in the right direction. Hopefully. I mean, we're at least getting the train back on the track. But the fight isn't over.
If you think about it, at any one point, one side or the other needs to buy food.
You're either going to have to buy it, kill it, or steal it. Or grow it.
One side or the other thinks the world's about to come to an end. So
yes, yeah. Well, Maxine Waters, didn't she just call for a civil war?
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
And just don't get too comfortable, because this is what happens. This happened, I guess it was back in 2016 when Trump got elected, I think. The companies like My Patriot Supply, who are the folks behind preparewithmojo50.com, sales go down for them when good things happen, because we don't tend to think in catastrophal means. Now, everything's good now. We're going to be, but you stay alive long enough and you see that it's cyclical, and the cycles are getting weirder and weirder as we get older. But the bottom line is this: it's never a bad idea to be prepared, and prepared you can be if you get their emergency food supply. Right now, you can get 4 free 72-hour food kits. That is 12 days of meals at no additional cost for $247. It's a 4-week emergency food supply for less than $250. You get free shipping, free handling, and some of the best emergency food that you'll find out there, if not the best. I can only think of one. I'm trying to think of who their competitor is. I know of at least the other one big one. Was it 4 Patriots or something like that? But these guys, the OG, My Patriot Supply. So again, just be prepared, stay vigilant. It's smart when you do that, and you can stay vigilant and be prepared when you go to preparewithmojo50.com.
If you're offended, you're listening wrong. The Daily Mojo.
Checking in with the folks over on the X here at the Daily Mojo. Stinky Biscuit says, stop with the generic lawn darts crap. They were called jarts. Yeah, they were, weren't they?
Jarts.
Not to be confused with sharts. Sharts is just what you wear in the summertime up in Massachusetts. Go on, put your sharts back on in the backyard. They're the guys who who put not a step on ladders. Well, yes. The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission.
Yeah.
We're safety now, haven't we? Again, the tool companies would always refer to the safety or legal department as the sales prevention team.
Yep.
Because you do. You have to put the stupid, don't stand above this. And how many times have you stood above the step on the ladder? If it's not a step, why the hell is it there?
Because it looks exactly like a step.
Right.
It does.
It sure does. You ever stood on top of a ladder?
Yes. Not a fun place to be.
More times than I.
Let me back up. I stood on top of a ladder if I'm climbing into an attic space where I'm actually holding on to something.
Right.
Because that's the last step up, but it's not a step.
You could die falling off the bottom step of a ladder. You could die from a standing position.
This is the equivalency of the half inch of water, isn't it? Okay.
It is. And again, if it's your time to go and you're in your living room and you trip over, the cat, and you hit the corner of the coffee table and you're done, guess what? Your e-ticket was punched.
I can't tell you how many times I'll be just walking across the floor and trip and stumble like nothing is there.
And then you look down and you blame
my life flashes before my eye. Everything gets slow.
Yep. Because it hurts to fall.
It does. The older you get.
John Greystoke says nobody ever died playing cornhole.
It depends on.
Are you sure?
If we're talking about the game with the boards on the either end.
Well, there's that. But I'm saying, are we sure that no one has ever died playing cornhole? Because I'm not sure. Then there is this guy out there who, if he did this to my car, and I found out who it was, and if you know
have
who
they
this guy
not caught
is,
on yet that most of these Teslas have security cameras on them?
What a dumbass. We don't know who this guy is, but this happened in the Dallas airport. And I don't think I ever keyed a car even when I was a teenager. Because at some point or another, we've all done stupid stuff in our lives. Generally, it's when we're younger or there is a girl involved. Son of a bitch, steal my girlfriend. Watch this. But this dude is old enough to know better. Now, have I seen like cars with Biden-Harris stickers on them that they make you? Not only do they have the Biden-Harris sticker, but they generally have the coexist sticker.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Alrighty there. But and does it make you want to? I don't even know it makes me want to do that anymore. It's like, you know what? That's
I think the worst thing I've ever wanted to do if I saw a Biden-Harris sticker on a car is flip them off. But even then, I didn't do it. I mean, what's the purpose, right? Because that person probably doesn't give two shits that you flip them off. They don't care. That's like road rage. I don't understand road rage either.
Oh, I'll yell the hell out of road rage. I will yell at those dirty SOBs like you've never seen somebody yell.
I feel like I'm going to cause myself a heart attack, so I don't even, or a stroke, for getting mad at somebody. And you can usually tell if it was an accident or not, right?
But the thing is, when you are yelling at somebody,
are you releasing stress? Is that what you're doing?
You're releasing the stress and
my ass. What? You're not No, you're not.
Yes, you are. You're releasing stress.
Oh my gosh.
That actually keeps you healthier.
You're just like my wife, dude. My wife will blast off, man.
And
doesn't matter who's in the car with you, dude. She will just blast off. One day she came all the way from the back seat to between the front seats.
You learned a lesson.
Oops, sorry. Yep, but from the back seat to where?
Between the front seats. We were in a van at one time, and she came from way in the back to yell at somebody, and I was driving. I'm like, what? Get in the back seat. What are you doing? Why are you up here?
Did you send her back to training school at that point?
He was a peach fuzz mother.
Did you send her back to training school? Are you telling me that you don't have full control over your woman?
Oh, I don't have any full control over. I don't have any control over my woman.
Smart man. Then there's this dumbass right here. This was I don't know which parking lot, but
did you just key a Tesla the other day? What? You're on video. Yeah. This is the guy. You just keyed a Tesla. You got a video online. I just saw it. It's all over the fucking face. You have the media.
You know, Tesla?
Yes, you did. You keyed a Tesla in a parking lot somewhere around here. What do you got to say about that?
I didn't do that.
Let's roll the tape. Watch this. I mean, if you're going to do this, just a little friendly advice. Try not to wear something that is remarkable or that identifies you. And you're right, these Teslas do have these cameras. What, are they mounted in the rearview mirror?
No, they're in the fenders, front and back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Most people don't.
Good thing
Look at this. There he goes.
Well, you're on video. I said I plainly saw you doing it. You pulled up right next to it, and then you keyed it.
Bullshit.
You want to bet?
Whatever.
Okay. Well, they got your license plate. I'm surprised you haven't been contacted by the police.
Let him do it.
I mean, what do you have to say? I mean, I saw you do it. I'm just curious. I mean, just because of Elon, you're wearing a USA T-shirt, driving a Korean car. Why would you key an American car? The guy's probably a Democrat that owns it. I think it's a woman. I mean,
why do you hate women?
Why you do that? You just don't have anything to say about that? Neither one of you guys do?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Is that his wife or something in there? She was okay with it?
I guess.
Oh, and
you're handicapped, too. I mean, this is just kind of ridiculous.
Is that his... I can't tell if it's a chick or a dude over there in the passenger seat, but they have a mask on.
Of course they do.
What?
I didn't key a Tesla. You're a dumbass.
Now, I will say that is, deny. Because in this day and age, that could have been an AI video, right?
Could it have been?
If we're good,
okay.
If we're going to be honest, it could have been an AI video, and not that dude. I mean, let's also be honest that it was that dude, but it might not have been that dude. Speaking of that dude, here is Phil Bell.
This is Phil Bell on the Daily MoJo with your morning update. I was all prepared to come on today and talk about how great a job that President Trump did in removing criminal illegals Tren de Agua and sending them to El Salvador. And by the way, President Trump, great job. But then as I was making this recording, I realized that something else was going on that was even crazier. And that is happening in Deerfield, Illinois. Apparently, several girls went into the locker room and found out there was a guy changing in the locker room. So they said, you know what? We don't want to do this, and refused to put on their physical education clothes. So what happened? The next day, an administrator from that school came down and told them that they would have to do it regardless of who was in the locker room, forcing these young ladies to change their clothes in front of a man. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, Deerfield, Illinois. Unacceptable, Deerfield Public Schools. Unacceptable, state of Illinois. And unacceptable for all of you far-left kooks who insist on subjecting our young ladies to this level of mistreatment. And it's really crazy to think that only a few years ago, you wanted to cancel any and every man simply for saying hello, but now you say, oh, it's no problem. Go ahead in the locker room, take your clothes off in front of a guy. This has got to stop, and everybody in this audience not only needs to know about this situation, but you need to take action where you are so that we hound out any administrator that thinks this is okay and tries to do it. So please leave a comment in the description under this show. Let us know what you're doing to help keep our young ladies safe, and also download that Daily MoJo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming from all around the country, and you'll know how to share it with others. We'll see you down the line, and thanks for choosing the Daily MoJo.
Phil Bell's Morning Update is only on the Daily MoJo.com. Stupidity is not a competition.
The whole island will become so
unless you're a politician.
overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
The Daily MoJo. The Daily Mojo.
Lively, spirited conversation happening over in the Rumble chat room. Hello to everyone there. Also in the Kick chat room over at kick.com. You can watch us live there each and every day. Bezcore 101 says, now I want to buy a Tesla just so I can catch someone keying it. Yeah. Probably somebody without insurance, though.
Probably.
Or maybe not.
Yeah.
Pickled Squirrel says, please tell me this asshole was arrested. We don't know.
If either one of them were. Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. We want to see somebody, we want to see a YouTube video of somebody keying a vehicle and then follow through with the arrest when they go to their house and pick them up.
Yeah. And that's what people
and let
want
them tell the cops,
overall.
I didn't do it. And the cops hold their phone up and go, is this you?
Right.
Yeah, that's you. Come on.
Again, we are at that point in history now where you could say, that's not me. That's AI. You have to prove it was them.
You would do what? You would do that, wouldn't you?
I would do what?
Tell the cops that wasn't me. That's AI.
Well, if it wasn't me, I would say, no, it wasn't me.
But if it was you, would you still say it?
Fifth Amendment. Fifth Amendment is there for a reason, right?
I guess.
Wombat Mommy says, no, seriously, why do they hate women? Well, I wouldn't key somebody's car, first of all. I mean,
that seems
really
I started to say keying a car just seems petty to me. But petty is an MO.
It makes you feel better.
Does it?
Makes you feel better. It's cathartic. It's like yelling. Which is better, keying or yelling? Right?
I guess.
Bugs Mom says Phil could take his Trump button and attach it to Mike with a bow tie. Oh, and Jody 121 says he saw Phil's mic sitting there without a hat. Someone was going to make a hat for Phil's mic, right? Who was that? Somebody who said that they were going to do it. You do it, we'll get it to him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, don't threaten us with a good time. And not my dog update, Bard. San Jose police arrested the dude that keyed the Tesla. And there are two of them. I think the first guy that we saw
that was
might
Dallas.
have been, that was Dallas.
Well, that was in
the one
Dallas,
that we
but
just saw.
Yeah.
So good. Good. You know what? He probably, and your insurance won't cover that, will it? If you key somebody's
If
car,
it was
and
intentional,
they,
probably not.
I mean,
Probably,
I don't know why
probably
they
have to go
would.
to small claims court. If it was, I don't know, on a Tesla, is that still considered small claims?
Seeing how much a good paint job costs?
Yeah.
I don't think that's small claims. So Phil was talking about the Deerfield School District up in Illinois, and this is Deerfield Public School 109. The executive order that the president put out about you use the bathroom of your born gender. They're like, yeah, bite me, which, F-A-F-O. This is a mother. Her name is, I think she actually tells us here in just a second. This is a mother in the school board meeting regarding the situation in the girls' locker room where the trans girl was, they were forced to undress in front of the trans girl.
Yes.
The dude.
Yeah.
Demand that the locker rooms and bathrooms at District 109 be designated as biological male and biological female, as there already is a gender-neutral option. The girls want their locker rooms and bathrooms back. They want their privacy back. This is why I'm here tonight. My 13-year-old daughter's well-being and mental health and privacy is at stake. This nightmare began on February 5th when my daughter was using the girls' bathroom and was stunned that a biological male student was using it as well. She came home frightened and was extremely upset. I asked her to talk with her teachers and find out more information. She was told by the administration that a student can use the bathroom as well as a female locker room because they now identify as female. I was sent an email to the teachers involved and received a call from Principal Wegley. He verbally reiterated that under Joanna Ford's direction and their legal counsel that the student could use both the locker room and bathroom. I expressed that the school was in clear violation of federal policy. The Trump administration issued an executive order restricting biological males from participating in sports and accessing female locker rooms. That day, I filed a civil rights complaint on behalf of my daughter with the Department of Justice. It has now been referred to the Department of Education. A federal complaint has been filed with the district to protect the students. The situation went from bad to worse. A few days later, the male student was present in the girls' locker room. Feeling violated, the girls made the choice to not change into their PE clothes with a biological male student present. The next day, Assistant Principal Kathy Van Treese pulled the girls into their office, questioning them. The same day, Assistant Superintendent Joanna Ford, Kathy Van Treese, and multiple teachers all came into the girls' locker room, making them change into uniform. This went on all week with the addition of Ginger Laugerman. My daughter refused to take part in having her privacy being violated. How dare they?
Okay, pause there for a second, because is that not sexual assault?
I would classify it as that. Yes. Yeah.
A girl to undress in front of a biological male, is that, I mean, it feels like sexual assault. I mean, it would be, I don't know how that's not sexual assault.
She ran out and called for me for help. Principal Wegley answered, was offering my daughter a new PE class. The answer was no. She is not changing for the remainder of the year, and she is not changing into another class. The girls just want their privacy, and they want their locker room back. There are gender-neutral options. This is my daughter's story and the story of many other young girls who have been forced at the difficult age to do something they know and most adults know is wrong. Do the right thing, Deerfield, and give these girls their locker room and bathrooms back. Allowing biological males to access girls' locker rooms sets a dangerous precedent that erodes the very foundation of female privacy and safety. By making this decision, the school board is not only disregarding the concerns of young female students and making their families, but also establishing a legal and policy framework that will make it increasingly difficult to protect the integrity of female-only spaces in the future.
All right, so...
Man, it just goes downhill from here.
Yes, it does. You watch that's from Libs of TikTok. Go ahead and retweet that so you can take a look-see. Now, the entire school board meeting is online on the YouTubes, and let me just say that after that woman sits down, I'm just going to scan forward a little bit here for the first person, and it gets progressively worse and weirder. Here is the first person to
respond to her.
Rebut?
Yeah, rebut. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm happy to go after that one. Thank you, school board. From what I've heard, y'all are following the law, which is fantastic. My name is Charlie Friedman. My pronouns are they, he. I am a trans person. I am the parent of a trans middle schooler. I am also the director of operations for Trans Up Front. It's a nonprofit
Party in the back.
organization fighting for trans rights. We partner with over 30 major organizations, including the ACLU, Lambda Legal, HRC, etc.
I'm sorry, I can't take my eyes off the dumbasses in the back of the room with the masks on.
With the masks on. Yeah.
I don't think they're cancer patients. B, I don't think that they have a contagious disease. C, I just think that's virtue signaling. That's all it is.
And Charlie looks like, God bless her, she looks like a dude, or it looks like a chick dressed up as a dude for Halloween. That was tacky of me. I'm sorry.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
We have a protest coming up for trans rights on March 30th, 1 p.m., Federal Plaza. We have and I would like to take a moment to talk about Illinois. We're all very lucky to live in a state that protects everyone here. Specific to today, Executive Order 2019-11, which my kid was standing next to Pritzker when he signed. Yes, an executive order from the governor. And in that order, it's called Strengthening Our Commitment to Affirming and Inclusive Schools, which protects trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming students from the type of bullying that this parent represents.
Is it bullying? She's defending her kid. See, this is where they get into trouble. Why are we
Also, under the Illinois Human Rights Act, Section 3B-1, the use of restrooms, locker rooms, and changing rooms may not be restricted based on a student's physical anatomy or chromosomal sex. A student must be permitted to access restrooms or bathrooms, locker rooms, and changing rooms that align with their gender-related identity and without having to provide documentation or other proof of gender. Under this act, and it is stated, the discomfort or privacy concerns of other students, teachers, or parents are not valid reasons to deny or limit the full and equal use of those facilities based on a student's gender-related identity. Instead, any student, teacher, or other individual seeking more privacy should be accommodated by providing that individual with a more private option upon their request.
Man, had I been in high school when this shit was going down, I would have been in the girls' locker room. I mean, that is the governor that's perfect cover. Right
Wasn't
there.
it every young boy's dream to be in the girls' locker room at that time?
Preferably invisible. I mean, that was the whole. Hey, wouldn't it be cool to be invisible? You can walk right into the girls' locker room. But this gives you carte blanche to walk right. Nope, sorry, I'm a chick today. I mean, it's a.
Whatever happened to the safety
illness
of the students in the school?
Chicago, Deerfield, which is a suburb, this is so dystopian. It's really in the
Brad,
interest of time.
what if we had?
The whole thing, but.
Yeah, what if we go to that one that talked about the white god? What if we had a Democrat governor in the state of Texas? Would we be going through this here? I just can't see Texans dealing with this. Now, maybe in
Almost
Dallas,
electing,
maybe in Austin.
You can't see Texas almost electing people like Beto?
Oh, no, I'm saying going through this mess, I can see us electing a Democrat governor, yes. We've done it before.
Because our schools should be safe, inclusive places for all students where policies are based on facts and not fear-mongering.
Ironic.
Yep.
All right. Let me show you the fact in your pants. I mean, if you want to play that game, all right, let's play the facts game. Fair enough.
There has never been a more blatant need for homeschooling than there is now.
And mental institutions?
Good evening, y'all. My name is Jessie. My pronouns are they, them, theirs.
As soon as a person says that, I want to Sean Connery him.
Wow.
I do. I mean, it's just that the pronoun thing is the hill I will die on because it is so unbelievably stupid. It's so bizarrely out there dumb. I can't even.
There's an easy fix for this. I don't know why our governments aren't just going, look, we'll create a third bathroom or a third locker room. Sorry about you.
They talked about, didn't you hear that? That was the non-conforming option. They don't want to be, this is the gay cake situation. They don't want a wedding cake. They want the person who doesn't want to make them the wedding cake to go to jail.
That's
for
correct.
not making the wedding cake. That's what they want.
It's the same thing in sports. Create a trans sports group.
Yes. Simple enough. Done. No more controversy. No, they want to force you to play their game. If you want to play their game, that's fine. But you can't make everybody play the game. It's just, nope, not going to happen. Let's see, the next one, because when Shia, Libs of TikTok, said, really have to support the mother because she was attacked by everybody else in the school board meeting. And so I went and looked at the school board and yep. I mean, five people right behind her with obvious issues. Right behind her is not a good angle on that person right there.
Good evening, honorable school board members for District 109. My name is Krista Larson. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the executive director for the LGBTQ+ Center of Lake County. And as clerk for Avon Township, I recognize the difficulties that you face as elected members of our community today.
Clerk of Avon Township. I bet that's a party town.
Today, I rise on behalf of nearly 2,000 transgender or gender nonconforming students across Lake County and the more than 10,000 who identify as part of our queer umbrella.
There's a queer umbrella? All this time, I'm not sure if I've been picking up the straight or the queer umbrella. Which one have I been?
I rise to
one gets you wetter than the other? I don't know.
Support this board and the efforts you've made, including demonstrating tonight through item 8.7 in your policy reviews that you've undertaken so stringently to continue to protect and support the students' rights under Title IX of the Civil Rights Act, the rights that are enshrined under the Illinois Human Rights Act, and have been implemented so thoroughly by this board, through its administration, and through its faculty. For that, I thank you all. We've heard a lot of facts and figures tonight. We've heard a lot of arguments, but I want to share an experience because when we see a 13-year-old student who's undergoing this type of thing, how are they feeling? That's what we really need to be considering. Back in the 1980s, I was a young boy in middle school. I was a boy then. I didn't know any differently, but I never felt like I fit in. I intentionally stayed away from changing spaces, changing in private spaces, because of my fear of being in male-dominated spaces. I didn't know why. The language wasn't there. The experience wasn't there. But that transformed my life. By high school, I was able to opt out of all of my gym classes. I did not need to go into those facilities. I participated in athletics such as track and field.
You get the idea. You get the idea. The person, there's a mental thing going on there with this person too. And it's not normal. It is abnormal. By definition, it isn't normal. I get it. You cannot make the abnormal normal because then...
You can't force the abnormal to be normal.
No.
And that's what's happening.
Because at that point, we're toast. I mean, it's just let's see, this one...
No, I think it's the last one. Yeah.
I'm here as a student, a queer student, with a queer sibling and multiple queer friends. One of those queer friends being a trans girl who was harassed in the locker rooms for being where she thought she would feel most safe, and clearly it didn't end up being safe.
Okay, you'd be safe in your own non-binary room, right?
If they had a non-binary room.
But no, they don't want that. They want to force everybody to mix in that way. Yeah, just like blacks and whites. Right.
Whiskey, I was watching this before the show started, and I'm as mad as you are, buddy. I see you.
it just, and then I'll skip to the wackadoodle at the end.
This one, that's not her. It's she got longer hair.
It was a parade of freak. Where is she?
Right there.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, she is just. This person is a piece of work.
Her pronouns.
Here we go. Prepare thyself, for this one is out there like last year's Easter egg.
Tina Nelson, she, her pronouns. Community member and part of the LGBTQ community.
And can I add bitch to that just because it's pretty self-evident?
Thank you to the board for prioritizing the safety of the student that's been targeted by a organization that weaponizes religion to push the white supremacist agenda of their cis white husbands.
Oh, and looked right over at her.
If Satan was ever living inside a human being, it's this one right here. Look at the...
Thank you.
Excuse me. It's.
I have the mic.
Let's be respectful. Please be respectful of each other's times.
Wow.
So
there's the school board backing this thing up.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing is truly trying to get a reaction from the mother who's trying to defend her daughter. This one standing at the mic now is trying to elicit a reaction from the woman
She's not even
sitting
supposed
down.
to be talking to that woman. She's supposed to be talking to the board.
Right. But she is clearly trying to elicit a reaction from the woman sitting down. The woman sitting down responds, and the board's like, can't do that.
Targeting a middle school student because of your white God.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we know that God is white?
I'm surprised that woman didn't get up and just start wailing on her. I'm not sure I could sit there like that.
That's not legal either. But
I understand that.
This is free speech.
Is it?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can we pause for a second? This is a time for us to listen, to hear your viewpoint, and we want to hear that. All right.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Yes. So, children that are raised by those who hate, vilify, and fearmonger will hate, vilify, and fearmonger their peers.
I don't hate this woman. She's truly got some gears that ain't meshing upstairs. She's very angry. Let's see, am I vilifying her?
She's wearing a shirt with a knife on it that says protect trans rights. Come on.
That any worse than an AC/DC shirt?
I don't know. What's her shirt imply?
But you protect yourself.
AC/DC shirt implies that you can plug something in or run off a battery. I don't know what this implies. This implies that she could stab somebody with a knife to protect trans rights. You asked the question. I gave you my answer.
I did.
So education is super important. Sex education is super important. And
so, yeah. Is she communicating with the mothership at this point?
this
downloading.
is just a kid.
Mm-hmm. Really didn't have much to say other than she wanted to get up there and stare down the mother of the.
Oh yeah, she wanted to
of the normal kid.
Yeah,
that's all she wanted to do.
I'm really grateful to see how full this room is of support for this kid.
You're gonna start crying
instead of the petty women that target him.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, she just.
All right. Thank you.
So yeah, the mother got full on railed against and attacked by a circus freak lineup. Were they kind? No, I don't think so. Was the woman being unkind? The one with the normal daughter?
She's being a protective parent.
She's being a protective parent, trying to protect her by death. And
look, she's got a choice too.
Backlash.
She's got a choice: stand up and fight, or pull your kid out of school and homeschool them. As far as I know, the state of Illinois still allows homeschooling.
If there ever was a good excuse to homeschool, you just heard it right there. I'm telling you. I know, right? All right, time for a saltine cracker, a little palate cleanse, and more of the Daily Mojo is next.
You're listening to the Lunatic Fringe of American radio, the Daily Mojo.
Oh, Wombat Mommy in the Rumble chat room. Sex education is only super important for adults who want to diddle kids. Crafting Freak, it's simple. It's simple. Tell that individual is not about hate. It's about everyone's safety. Okay. Dan with Beaver, see you next Tuesday, was looking for a fight, and I think I would have given it to her. She was definitely looking for a fight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, looks like the Zoom room is up there. Has anyone's head exploded?
Yeah, oh, Whiskey. God bless him. He's trying to drive. He's just been yelling at the camera for the last 15 minutes.
It's with good reason. Not My Dog says, can we get Dogie to redirect school funds for psychiatric help? It's crazy.
Yeah, but
what's happening in these schools?
At the same time, you'd have to vet the psychiatrist because
Yes. Wisconsin Jackhole says all this means is that they need a new school board. It's the radical agenda. I mean, this is, like I said, this stuff is not going away.
See, the problem that I have, Brad, is that I actually feel bad for the transgender student. Now, that's a shock, maybe, to some, but I do. I feel bad for the transgender student because, quite honestly, their mental health is at risk. They're going through some things. So separate that person with other transgender students into a locker room where they're not being placed in a situation where they have to deal with the bullshit. Get them some help. Get the kids who were forced into that situation from the other side some help if they need it, if they want it. But the bottom line is forcing these kids to go through all of this because then they end up watching their parents go through it. It's tough.
Yes, it is.
Kids have to deal with enough shit going through school. We all know it. We went through school.
It is a little it's nuts out there. It's a little crazy. Hang on, I'm looking for the because it doesn't stop there. Where is there's what's their name? Oh, there's the there are the people that were deported.
Oh, yeah.
Those nice individuals that were deported down to
As I said, there
Ecuador.
El Salvador?
Yeah.
Is it Ecuador or Salvador?
I thought it was Ecuador. It's El Salvador, it looks like. But yeah.
And they
dude, they didn't play with them.
Rough time of it, aren't they?
They didn't play with them. They shaved their beards. They shaved their heads.
They shaved their everything. It was not a good day to be one of the, what was the gang of it? What's the gang called?
Tren de Aragua.
Right, exactly. Here's what I was looking for. It's Ilhan Omar, who was out there wanting this, I'll just play it. You can listen to what she's, because I'm having trouble speaking and diddling with the computer here at the same time.
It is hard to imagine anything more un-American than that. The Trump administration's immigration policy is a threat to immigrants like criminals. America is too great to fall prey to Donald Trump's anti-immigrant agenda. We need to restore basic humanity to our immigration system, and that starts with repealing the Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
He says it was she. I'm assuming she's she. Is that hair?
No.
What is that?
No, she's always got a thing on her head.
It looks like she's wearing an Elvis wig.
And it kind of does, but it's not.
Okay, I had to look
she
at
always
it 2 or 3
wears a
times.
wrap.
Right, but it looks like an Elvis wig in this case. This is the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. She's calling it un-American. It was signed by President Adams, one of the founding fathers. This allows for the arrest and deportation of non-citizens during times of war or national crisis.
Which this is considered.
Yeah, we're being invaded. These were gangs. These were I love the retard finder responded to this tweet and said, "Marrying your brother is un-American too." You gotta laugh, otherwise you cry. Which is pretty much the sentiment on down the road here with all of the replies. Sorry, but people who marry their brother to sneak into our country don't get to tell us what's un-American. I laugh because it's so effing ridiculous. When you step out there and you call the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 un-American, you just you might as well just go get a rubber stamp on your forehead that says, "I'm a dumbass." It really, because these people that were being deported and pissing off that judge, Borsberg, what's his name? Yeah, Boasberg. Pissing him off because the planes didn't get turned around because they were in the air already. And you're right, Ron. It was not in his order to turn the plane around. He said that out loud. Here's Mr. Doofus right there. I'm sorry, His Honor. See, that's what really pisses me off when you're forced to call a judge Your Honor. I mean, to me, that's the equivalent of being forced to stand there while some dude takes his clothes off in front of you, or vice versa. To call this jackass Your Honor, how about blow me? I mean, I have zero respect for this asshat clown. District Judge James Boasberg, he had the meeting, he held the hearing yesterday after the planes refused to turn around over the weekend. He on Saturday temporarily halted the administration from using the 1789 Alien Enemies Act to deport the illegals. But DOJ lawyers told him that, there's already 2 planes in the air, one headed for Honduras, the other one to El Salvador. The judge verbally ordered the planes to be turned around. The directive was not included in his written order. In the written order,
he's overstepping his boundaries, is what he's doing.
Well, of course he is, but that's why he didn't put it. If I'm reading this right, that's why he didn't put it in the order.
Well, didn't he put it in? The order came out before
the hearing. No.
The order came out on Saturday or Sunday. But it didn't say anything about them flying out.
Oh, right.
And then he told them verbally to turn them around after they were already in the air and supposedly over international waters. And they refused him. Number one.
So here's
your
Julie
verbal
Kelly.
Doesn't do shit to me.
Well, at this point, because you didn't say that in the original order, the DOJ attorneys now are not effing around either.
They're not. No.
Trump has learned, and anybody involved in this administration that has been okie dokied by Trump and his peeps are not effing around. They're playing by the same stupid rules. Well,
all those idiots stood by while freaking
rules. Right. The
Biden
same ones that these dumbasses in the Democrat Party were following in the 4 years prior. It's like, all right, that's the way you want to play. That's
when Biden flaunted the freaking Supreme Court on all the student payouts.
We'll see. Boasberg, according to Julie Kelly, Boasberg says, I've scheduled this hearing for fact-finding on the government's response to my order, focus on the timeline involved, and get a sense of numbers of people here. I just want facts, not planning to issue any ruling about the government's conduct. Then he asked the DOJ if it's still true that the 5 individual plaintiffs are in the United States. DOJ says yes. How many planes departed the U.S. on Saturday under the proclamation? DOJ says flights complied with his order but won't disclose more to anybody. Boasberg, the judge says, anyone including me? DOJ says, yep. Judge says, based on what? National security concerns. Flight pattern. You're saying it's classified? I can receive classified information, or is there some other basis? Why are you showing up today without answers? Good question, Your Honor. I'm just asking how you think my equitable powers do not attach to a plane that has departed the United States, even if it's in international airspace. So he's given the DOJ a list of questions. And again, it's dangerous when the justice system, which isn't, it's the, when Pete Schwartz called it the legal industry, J6er Pete Schwartz.
Yeah.
It is the legal industry. It is not at least not right now. It may have started out as the justice system, but it's far from being the justice
Talk
system
about breaking
at this
news.
point.
I just texted you Trump's response to this judge on Threads about 10 minutes ago. He posted this. And
blow me.
Yeah, that's essentially, he's like, kiss my ass is what you can do.
This radical left lunatic of a judge, a troublemaker and agitator who was sadly appointed by Barack Hussein Obama, was not elected president. He didn't win the popular vote by a lot. He didn't win all 7 swing states. He didn't win 2,750 to 525 counties. He didn't win anything. I won for many reasons in an overwhelming mandate, but fighting illegal immigration may have been the number one reason for this historic victory. I'm just doing what the voters wanted me to do. This judge, like many of the crooked judges I'm forced to appear before, should be impeached. We don't want vicious, violent, and demented criminals, many of them deranged murderers in our country. Make America great again.
Yep.
Boom.
And you and I talked about this briefly yesterday. He's not messing around. He did something spectacular yesterday that we all went, wow. Trump. And that was Biden's security.
Oh, yes. That came out just after
just after this
program.
Yeah.
So he yanked the Secret Service from Hunter Biden.
While he was in
yanked
South
the
Africa.
Secret Service from Ashley Biden.
Yep.
Somebody brought, I think it was James on Twitter, said South Africa, excuse me, see if they ever get, is a non-extradition country.
But he could call the Secret Service home.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that's why Hunter Biden is there. Not my dog says, I want to see marshals arresting judges. Take about 10 of these criminals, put them in a cage, don't feed them for 4 days, no cigs and no porno. Throw that judge in the cage for about 24 hours.
He wouldn't last an hour.
It is amazing what these...
It's amazing to me that a single judge in a single city, even calling themselves a federal judge, in a single city in one state of this country can affect Trump in his duties in the executive branch.
I think they're just pushing the boundaries just to see how much they can get away with.
Yeah.
And actually, I think...
And I guarantee you the judges get phone calls. That judge has probably gotten a ton of phone calls from Soros and all the Democrats and all the people like this going, you got to take a stand here, Judge. You got to take a stand. You got to...
Epstein even called him.
God.
You think Epstein's dead?
I don't know.
Tucker Carlson. Did you hear him say that?
I did not.
Who was he talking to? He said, I'm pretty sure Epstein is dead. I'm like 90, I think he said 95, 98% sure.
But there's always that
What?
2%.
I mean, Epstein may be alive. We just don't know. That's the crazy part of all this. Check. Gifted Guru says, check that login. No judicial review allowed. I'm not sure to what he is referring. Dr. Free Range Prisoner, I'm all for impeachment of radical judges, but does Congress have to have the collective will to do it? It's easier and faster to just reassign the judges, put them in traffic court. Yeah. Over in the Daily MoJo chat room, frankly speaking, do these clowns go to school here or have a child in school here? If not, they should have nothing to say about it. Amen to what Trump said. Pope Freebie the 38th. Which, by the way, has anyone checked on the Pope lately?
I think he's doing okay now, isn't he?
Is he? A picture of the Pope Francis was released yesterday. The Vatican says his health continues to improve. You believe him?
I don't have a reason not to yet.
It's the Vatican. I mean,
okay.
They know about UFOs and they're not telling us anything. So why would they tell us the truth about this? I'm not saying I'm suspicious. I'm just saying I'm suspicious. That's all. I don't think that's unusual. I don't think that's wrong. We were talking about MyPillow yesterday. Do you now?
If you want it, yeah.
Well, I wanted to say this first because it may be that because I was looking for some, and they're doing a lot of clearance stuff, and I don't know how things are over at MyPillow. I have no idea. We knew that they got into some issues with FedEx over non-payment, etc. My point being this: if you go there and you are trying to order something, you find they don't have your size, they don't have a lot of stock, whatever it is, and that may be the case. I don't know. I know they didn't have my size.
In several different versions, I hear.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what is happening over there, and I mean, things may be going swimmingly. They may not be going swimmingly. They may be going badly. I don't know. let me know if you do try to order something and you can't, because I would be interested in that. But I would recommend, if you have the inclination and you're looking for things like the little roll and go pillows are fabu, and you can find them if you go to if you click on the closeout and overstock sale. Save up to 80%, which is better than the Joanne going out of business sale right now.
Yeah, because they're not really reducing. Right, real quick.
Have you been into one?
Misty did. Misty went in. She said, Brad's not going to like this. They're not reducing.
I went in and I didn't. I was like, hell, this is like a coupon sale. I wanted to go in and buy some black velvet. Don't ask me why. It's my private life. But I'll tell you if you want to know. And it was like 20% off. It's like, I got better deals from that with the app. But different story. Anyway, go to mojomypillow.com. You can save up to 80% right now. And like I said, I do not know what's happening over there with them. I mean, it wouldn't. What was his? Was it $5 million? The hit he took. That he had to.
It was quite a bit.
Pay that one dude. Yeah, it was a chunk. So I really don't know. If we find something out, we'll let you know. In the meantime, if you again feel the calling to support, who I still think Mike Lindell is a patriot. Maybe. Again, it's not what you know; it's what you can prove in the court system. Just me. MojoMyPillow.com, and the promo code is Mojo50.
The Daily Mojo.
Did you see, I think it was in Houston, the Journey was having a concert, and there was a stage, there was a fire underneath the stage. And
I saw a story about that, but I didn't. The venue canceled the rest of the
concert.
Yeah,
it wasn't the band; it was the venue. And so Journey's like they're singing "Don't Stop Believing," and they like cut off, I guess, like mid song, and the crowd kept singing.
Wow.
I can't quite hit that high note. Then again,
they didn't want to leave, huh?
Steve Perry couldn't hit the high note at the end either. I stumbled across this interview with Steve Perry and Dan Rather, and this is the first time I'd ever heard this. He explains why he left Journey. Did you know why he left Journey?
I do not. No.
I had no idea why he left Journey until I heard straight from the horse's mouth his response.
A lot written about this. What can you tell me about walking away that maybe you haven't talked about before?
Well, it was a combination of the passion for music had left me. I could not, find the honest passion for singing. And because of that, I was stepping into some other, dare I say, party behaviors to augment my frustrations. And then I think my voice was also suffering. I think everything started to suffer for me. And it did not help restore my passion for music. So eventually, the feeling just got very clear to me that I need to just stop. And I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do or where I was going to go. All I knew is that I can't keep doing what I'm doing. I need to just stop because this is not going anywhere good.
Now, were drugs a part of this? Women a part of this?
Certainly drugs and drinking were a part of it, of course, yeah. I mean, that came with the times, It's a funny thing about success. when you do get a chance to finally live that dream that you wanted when you were 7 years old, 8, 9, 12 years old, and you get it. Now, I'm not complaining, Dan. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you my heart. When you finally get that and you're loving it, it's kind of at some point a little bit of a luster starts to wear off over and over again if you keep touring and keep turning the same wheel over and over again. And I think it leaves room for the opportunity for other enhancements, dare I say, to replace some of the lack of luster that it once had.
So you walk away.
So, but he goes on to say he walked away from Journey. He had a couple of solo hits, and I think I don't know why he did those, but he went out and he bought a Harley. He bought a Harley, and he rode around on his Harley, and
I know the feeling.
Meeting.
I know the feeling.
Well, and he was trying to. He said he was looking for. Isn't that weird? I mean, because here's a guy that was at the top of the game. You write your own ticket,
but he knew he was on his way to the bottom of the game.
Right. Well, he couldn't find the passion anymore. He didn't have the fire.
Yeah, he couldn't find the passion, but to replace that passion, he went to drugs and drinking, and he knew he was on his way down. Hell, he could have killed himself, quite honestly.
Well, he ended up meeting a woman, Kelly Nash was her name. And this has been in the recent past, within the last 10 years. And she was a breast cancer survivor. He met her at a hospital where his a friend who's a director, it's the same director who Brandon Morse was talking about the other day. The woman, is it Julie? Can't remember her name. Anyway, so he meets this through his friend Julie, the director. He meets this woman at one of the hospitals in a cancer support group, and he feels the need to meet her for whatever reason. And it's funny because he talks about, I want her email. As I thought, is that the new? I need her phone number now. It's just I want her email, because seems to me the phone number is back in style now. But so anyway, he finally gets her email, sends her an email. He waits on pins and needles for like 2 weeks. She finally emails him back and says, "Yeah, I'll go out to lunch with you." And they go out to lunch, and he said they were inseparable from that point on. They were together for 1.5 years. Then she died from breast cancer, and that's been like 6 years ago. So, I mean, somebody you think, would have it all together, and, how wonderful life can be if you've got everything you want. And it's not necessarily the case. And sometimes you just have to stop, sit back, and, appreciate what you do have, and, be grateful for that, and not so much be concerned about what it is you don't have or what you think you want. That's a biggie. Now, I will say this. It would be nice. Yeah, how can I set this up? I sent this to a couple of people yesterday. This is pretty amazing. I mean, the Daily MoJo got some coverage out there.
We did, yeah.
And on a podcast, which and they said some nice things. I labeled the file here, TDM Coverage Talk Radio. It's I guess a show called Talk Radio Reviews. Anyway, here's what they said. Some of what they said on the show about the Daily MoJo.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive here. You guys wanted to know a little bit more about conservative talk radio in 2025.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, you sent us a pretty interesting snapshot, a website glimpse into the Daily MoJo.
Interesting choice.
This is a show.
Interesting choice.
It's blending news, opinion, and humor streaming from Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a new app, fiery accusations about Epstein files, even Dan Bongino stepping back into the spotlight.
That's right.
Okay, Let's unpack this a little bit.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated by this choice of location.
Okay.
Texas isn't really a traditional hub for talk radio.
Right.
Not on the scale of like a New York or DC, at least not traditionally.
Right.
This suggests a very deliberate attempt to kind of tap into a different type of conservative audience. Maybe one less focused on, the Beltway and more on, say, cultural issues and local politics.
And this whole Desert Air Motel thing, not your typical studio setup.
No, it's not.
It almost sounds like a band name.
I was thinking that too.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So who are these guys?
Wait, did he say it sounds like a band name?
A band name, yeah.
I've never thought of the Desert Air Motel being a band name, but maybe.
Brad Staggs and Ron Phillips, are they trying to be the rock stars of conservative talk radio?
Well, that's a great point. I think the name...
Are we conservative?
Well, to them, apparently.
I mean, it is, again, I think that the terms have shifted a bit in, labels, in labeling who is what and what is whom and all that. But this was fascinating to me to hear what others thought of the program who don't normally listen. A little bit more.
It all points to a very carefully crafted brand identity. They're not just delivering news and opinions. They're creating an experience. It's like, come hang out with us at the Desert Air Motel where the conversation is lively.
Yeah.
The opinions are strong and we don't take ourselves too seriously.
But they are tackling some pretty serious topics.
Yeah.
We've got headlines about Pam Bondi accusing the FBI of withholding Epstein files.
Thank you.
Dan Bongino joining the FBI under Trump. It definitely feels like they're pushing a specific narrative.
You think?
Are we? Are we? I'm going to get somebody else's opinion on this too. In just a second, we will be joined by the kingpin, if you will, the moral center of the Daily MoJo. I noticed they didn't mention him in that review, but we'll be joined by Dan Andros here in just a second on the Daily MoJo.
Where political correctness comes to die. The Daily MoJo.
Indeed, it is the Daily MoJo for today, which, by the way, is Tuesday, the 18th day of March, the year of our Lord 2025. DMX, Steve Perry's first, his solo albums were awesome, especially for the love of Strange Medicine. I don't even remember that Steve Perry. So I remember Oh Sherry.
Oh, Sherry.
Wisconsin Jackhole. So how much did you pay them for this? Talking about the review.
Yeah.
Dr. Free Range Prisoner. Wait, Steve Perry left Journey because he stopped believing?
I see what you did there.
He did, actually, which it's full of irony and the fact that it's, that and more. Look who's here.
And now the moral center of the Daily MoJo, Dan Andros.
Dan Andros joining us live from an undisclosed location somewhere in God's country, otherwise known as Pennsylvania. I knew. I remember last week you said something about this week, but I'll be quite honest, I can't remember what it was you said.
Me either.
Last week about
I don't remember what I said 5 minutes ago, so
I have that issue myself. So I did I think there's just a little bit more of
audience and build a powerful platform.
It makes you wonder, what does the future hold for the Daily MoJo?
Yeah.
It does.
Will they be able to maintain this momentum, this unique blend of news, opinion, and entertainment?
It does make you wonder that, doesn't it? Did you hear much of that review? It was
I heard some
review.
of it. Is this like an AI? Is this an AI thing?
Why would you assume that? Out of curiosity.
Because they were way too...
I mean, people are asking...
The voice, I could just tell.
And Wisconsin Jackhole was like, how much did you pay for this? And I mean, you know what? Can't we just find people who like to listen to the program and give us an honest opinion of it? I mean, is that so weird in today's world?
No, that's not weird, but finding computers to do it is a little weird.
Ron, explain how this worked.
Okay, so yeah, I found an app online. It's called Notebook LM. It's put out by Google. If you go to notebooklm.google.com, you too can do this. It's actually a note-taking platform that has, so you can input all your notes, and it will create an overview of all your notes. But one of the
for presentations.
It's for presentations. One of the platforms in Notebook LM is the studio, and you can provide different input sources, and it will create a podcast of between 4 minutes and 30 minutes about these notes that you put in. And all I did
I was going to say the only thing you gave it
was our URL for our website.
That's it. He just gave them the URL, and they spit 4 minutes and 18 seconds out.
And that was AI voices, correct?
But they're pretty good, though. I could tell, but it was definitely good.
They were phenomenal. I mean, they had the uhs and the laughs and the. It was
I thought
crazy.
you could hear it more in the chick than the dude. I thought he sounded.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
I mean, even the breath,
the pauses. I'm like, are you kidding me? Brad said the F you say.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait, guys. Listen, I do not put myself above this category, but I do feel like we've reached the stage where the technology is so good as far as like anyone can just get a podcast and put it on some platform and get out there. Basically, any jabroni with a X account and a microphone is somebody worth listening to. So I'm actually excited that AI is getting this good, because I cannot wait for the next jabroni to come out and everyone loves them and they think they're amazing, and then it just turns out to be like an AI. I honestly, I think this is
that's
a problem
around the corner. That is literally right around the corner. Yeah,
I really do think this is a problem with it's a positive, right? That we have all these citizen voices, and you can you get story leads and things like that, and they find things or whatever. That's great. But then the downside of that is just like any schmuck who happens to get some views and clicks because they can throw a meme up there or whatever. And now all of a sudden, like, we have to take them seriously, and they get on all the shows, and it's like they could be the dumbest people in the world. And
you mean like
which
Ilhan
I've
Omar?
seen. I mean, this is yes, but this is on both sides. And and they and then they just post stuff, and it just like it hurts. Like there are definitely accounts that I also just hate the accounts that like post things from other people and they say, breaking, we've broken this news. Like, no, you just actually tweeted somebody else's work. That's all you did. And it drives me out of my mind.
Hold on. Hey, time out. Are you telling me you don't think the Haktua girl had a legit voice in the conversation of today's headlines? How dare you?
No.
How dare you?
She's a good...
The Haktua girl.
Or the... well, but they get on there not necessarily because of clicks, but... They got on there because they're either mildly attractive or whatever. Like you're not real girl.
Mildly attractive people.
No, but it's like we shouldn't. Oh, let's talk to the Tiffany whatever her face is. How do I even know her name? She's a lady who went nuts on a plane, and then she posted a bikini pic of herself, and everyone's like, "Wow, she looks pretty good. Let's listen to what she's got to say."
Well, she did, and
I mean,
that's the problem. She blew the 15. She was handed a golden ticket to 15 minutes of fame and could have used that platform for whatever. Now, I'll give it to Haktua girl, Haley Welch. She was out there. She used some of her money. I saw that she was out there like taking food to pet shelters and stuff like that. So she was at least giving the impression that she was doing some good in the world, being kind to animals, doing things like that.
Feeding the hungry animals.
Well, she was. I mean, that's that. Yeah, say what you will, but that was
talk
a nice
about
act.
America last. Talk about America last. What about the Americans that are hungry, Brad? I mean, there's friggin' Americans out here that can't eat, and you're feeding dogs.
She may have given food to them too, but I mean, at least on the other end of the spectrum. Well, I can't say that because I don't know what she's done with her money. But Cash Me Outside, how about that? Remember her when she's making it? Okay, she's what Ron? What was she making?
She had a
7
bright
million
future,
a year,
Brad.
something crazy.
Millions.
Oh no,
future for
she's making millions a year now. It's on.
Well, good for her, but does that mean her future is
naked.
bright? I mean, that means she's made a lot of money, but her future is still not bright. That's
but it gives her the opportunity to do nice things. I totally agree with you, but it's I think that money greases the wheels of being able to do some good stuff out there. It certainly makes it easier. Probably.
Do we think the Cash Me Outside girl who rose to fame by being a belligerent hooker or whatever she is?
Careful.
Do we think? I don't know. I don't know her. Allegedly, okay, allegedly.
Right.
Do we think that this is like now she's gonna do great? She got money, and that's all it took, and then now she's gonna do.
No, I don't think that's.
No, the Bible says that if you're not, if you cannot do good with the little things, you will not do good with the big things. So, I mean, it's possible, but you know, maybe they have a change of heart at some point in
I've
their
said
life,
that
but
to
it's gonna
Ron
take a heart change,
14
not a money
times
change.
already this morning. Well, but that's my point with Haley Welch is, you know, yes, she came to light under dubious circumstances, but it appeared to me she wasn't a bad person. She was, and the things that I saw that she did with her money.
Haley Welch, a Hawktua girl.
You know her better as the Hawktua girl. And right. But I saw her do some nice things with her with the money. Now, does that make her a nice person? No, it just means that she did some nice things with her money, allegedly, because I don't know what to believe and what not to believe if I'm not standing in front of whatever it is, watching it happen. Now, I mean, we all heard the fantastic reviews that the talk radio reviews gave the Daily MoJo. We just don't, you know. So it's a strange time. But you're right. Anybody can get a podcast. Anybody can go out there and have a show, which is good, and it's bad. At the same, it is. It's neither good nor bad.
No, it is. And like, I guess what I don't like is like we can control things, right? Like somebody that's maybe not the smartest or maybe whatever gets a ton of views. Like, do we have to then go and put them on all the show? Like, I don't know. This is actually, you know, I remember back in the day having to research like Cass Sunstein and all these crazy progressives. When we first came on the scene with that in the late 2000s, like 2008, 9.
Yep.
And we were looking into them. I mean, man, this guy's creepy. But one of the ideas that Cass Sunstein had, which I think I honestly am actually on board with it at this point, because I think algorithms, while they're brilliant, it's like we're self-defeating as a society, because his idea though was that, okay, if you look up a news source, like let's say you go to CNN or something like that and you get an article, it was like, it will automatically, it should, like in the Google search or whatever these things are, it said it should give you like, here is, you know, 3 alternate views. And I remember thinking, this is propaganda at the time, but now knowing what I know about algorithms, I'm like, you know, that's actually not bad, because we get in these silos and it's just like, then the algorithm just keeps feeding you this stuff. And you basically live in 2 alternate realities. I live in this silo, you live in this silo, and we don't know anything about the other silos because the algorithm's just feeding us rage bait. And we just get madder and madder, or more frustrated and more frustrated. And I think we've lost the ability, as a society, as a whole, to see an issue and actually try to get the actual honest side of the other. I've always liked, you know, being a writer for a top host, I always wanted to get the best argument from the other side. I did not want to tackle like the straw man and say, here's a dumb point and like, let's crush it. Like, that doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do the reader any good. or the viewer any good. Like, I want to see the best argument from the other side and then defeat that argument. That's how, but we don't do that anymore. We build up straw men and we knock them down because it'll get clicks. And I just feel like that's made us dumber in general. Like, people do not look into the issue on. It's just fire hose the headlines,
You're right.
and that's it.
Yeah,
because there's
which is why people end up saying a lot of stupid things because they don't know what they don't know what the real argument or the real facts are.
Right. And I'm not saying I'm an expert on every single issue. I'm not, but I do at least try to look at.
Okay, I am
some of these things, and yeah, you are. But even like looking back, like on the New York Times thing, like, did you see their whole thing? Oh, we were misled about COVID. And it was a really good article. It was actually a really good article. Right. And if you actually go through the whole thing, you can see why they said like they were misled, because like these experts were saying one thing in public. And then then we find out later behind closed doors on the Slack channels, they were saying different things. So that's why so many people doubled down on the whole, it's been debunked. And, then we look into these people some more and we find out we're lying. But the people on the right are the people who were trying to say it,
please.
Who were trying to say that at the time. Like,
headline here.
Like, let's not revisionist history. Like, the right was not correct on every single thing, like herd immunity and all this stuff. Like, they weren't, you were right on some things.
Were we right on herd immunity?
I don't think so.
No, I don't know. I haven't read that far.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an expert, but if you go through and you look at all of the things that the right claimed, like, it's people tend to do this. They tend to say that, point out the things they were right on, and then ignore the things that they are not right on. So
confirmation bias.
Like I said,
we want to be right, and when we find things that agree with us, yeah, we're all about them, and then we. Wait a second. This piece of evidence doesn't agree with what I said. I don't trust it. I don't believe it.
Right.
Or I was wrong. You have to go down that.
Yes.
You have to be intellectually honest with yourself and at least go down that road and think, oh, okay, well, I did get that wrong.
Yeah.
But I got that wrong because I was being told the wrong information. But and I don't know about this. Her name is Zeynep Tufekci. Is that a real name? This is the opinion author in the New York Times. We were badly misled about the event that changed our lives. This person is a New York Times opinion columnist, writes about sociology and the social effects of technology, and has closely examined the impact of and responses to the COVID pandemic. She is a professor of sociology. My sister has a master's degree in sociology, and I always wondered, what the hell do you do with a master's in sociology? This is what you do. She's at Princeton. Politics, civics, movements, privacy and surveillance, as well as data and algorithms. And the whole of it is that we were all given bad information. But do you think it was that hard to find the misinformation that we were given?
Well, I think the issue was, maybe you couldn't identify that it was wrong right away, right? But the problem was, hey, when someone said, well, what about a lab leak there? You get the Wuhan lab there. They were silencing that. Like, you couldn't say that on YouTube or Facebook or social media. That is where the red flags were popping. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. How come I can't even question this thing? And so that was the problem, right? Like, and so that was where the red flag was, and they didn't want to wait, and they didn't want to hear, and they didn't want to have these conversations out. And I think that was where we were like, wait a minute, we cannot be doing that. We can't just go CDC, whatever they say goes, right? And so, and what they ended up doing was giving, like, they actually made it better for people who, for actual conspiracy theorists who are just like whipping up things. You give them credibility, and then, like, for the very people they were trying to like dissuade against, saying like, well, we don't want all these conspiracy theories getting out there, and then you end up giving them a feather in their cap, and it's like giving them more credibility because they were right on that one. Like you were
Yes.
wrong on that. But that article is a fascinating read, and I think I'm not super familiar with this person, but apparently, is it a she or he? Apparently
It's a she.
They weren't that bad on some of the COVID stuff during COVID. I don't know that they were one of the ridiculous ones. I could be wrong, but
I notice you're being they, and it's a she, I think, because I did the same
it's a
thing.
she.
Like
I just
they.
don't know. I'm not gonna no. Yeah,
It's a Turkish name,
think it's she.
Zeynep Tufekci. Zeynep Tufekci.
Yeah, Zeynep.
And wrote some interesting
I know
pieces.
a lot of chicks named Zeynep.
Right. Yeah, and Tufekci. That's a common Midwest name, I think. But the Tufekci's down the street.
Yeah, the Smiths and
Keeping
the
up with the
Tufekcis.
Right. All right. So
Yeah.
I can't believe we're almost out of time. I did want to quickly
Man,
get your
we
because in the
jam-packed
Quick Start
1 minute
podcast-
of
I know.
entertainment into 20 minutes.
I know it's a talent not many people have. The whole Christ is King debate. I was looking at that earlier.
Yes.
And you guys cover it on the podcast today. This is an interesting debate. In a nutshell.
Yeah, it is. It is very interesting because on the one hand, as Christians, you don't want to like just cave in because some lunatics are yelling Christ is King at everybody in a negative way, like kind of, anti-Semitic or whatever. So you don't want to like cede the term, right? Like we're Christians, Christ is King. Like that is something we're not going to go, all right, they ruined it. We won't say that anymore. But at the same time, we've got to use discernment in how we're actually like, let's check the reasoning and why we're actually saying this. Is it from a true heart for a true love for Christ, or are we just trying to own the libs or, this?
Well, and it's always been my point. I can call you a crock pot with malice in my heart, and that makes crock pot a bad word.
Right.
It's all in the intent.
We're not going to give that up. Right.
No, I'm not giving up crock pot.
That's a good point.
Not doing it.
No.
Not doing it. I'm not ceding another word to the other side. It's not going to happen.
No.
So the Quick Start podcast for today. Nope. From my cold dead hand, you'll get my crock pot word. The Quick Start podcast is dropped for today, and then of course you can find Dan over on CBN News, on FaithWire, and on the CBN News channel on the YouTube, as always. So
yes,
thank you for the engaging. Thank you for the engaging debate. Go out there and get them
before they get you. Yes.
Are they after him?
I don't know.
They might be.
What do you mean it's last call?
Yep. I can't believe it. Well, we're at the end of the road. Truly amazing how quickly this morning went, isn't it? I mean, it just zoomed right on past us. This would be a good time to tell them this whole show has been AI.
AI.
We're not even real. We're not even here today. I'm not really Brad.
It won't be long.
Sitting on
I'm telling you, it won't be long.
Boy, I can't wait for that because I'll be sitting on a beach somewhere. Find out what happened and what people learned during the course of the 2 hours of the Daily Mojo for today, Tuesday, the 18th of March. Almost got rid of an extra day. 2025. Want that, mommy? Do it, Dan. Misgender that person. It was weird because it was vague. Freebie 38, when are we going to have another extra hour or a watch party, Bradley? That is a very good question, and it has been in the back of my mind, and I keep saying it's going to be Wednesday. I said that last week, and I don't know what came up. Tomorrow. There, I said it. Tomorrow afternoon. I committed it.
There you go.
So
write it down or you'll forget it.
I won't forget it. Hey, forget what?
Yeah.
Over in the Peekapool, everything I thought about the COVIDs was right because I identify as an expert. Thank you. It's weird. Me too. DMXDM, don't give Brad any ideas. He'll be doing shows in a bikini for clicks. How do you know I'm not wearing bikini bottoms right now? You don't know, do you? You have no idea if I'm wearing a bikini bottom. Dr. Free Range Prisoner, I remember a report that the Cash Me Outside girl takes a lot of money and donates it to single moms for schooling. Does the end justify the means? I don't know. It's hard to know what's in a person's heart. It really, truly is. Because even when they tell you, sometimes it ain't right. Deb Trebway says, I love you all, but especially you, Bradley. And I added that last part. Zoe Taxi says, have a great one, everybody. I learned that the best pronouns are she, it. I see what Zoe did. She, it. Stay salty, Ron, says Pope Freebie the 38.
Yeah.
I second that emotion. As for the rest of you, remember that we, the people, must hang together.
Must.
See what I did there? Otherwise, we will surely hang separately, or they'll key our car. Sic Semper Tyrannis, resist stupid, and good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are. See you tomorrow. Hump day tomorrow.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.